May 17th, International Day Against Homophobia, being celebrated all over the world. And we have our contingent here in Chicago. I want to thank everyone for coming out, for carrying signs, for being among those who on a beautiful day in Chicago, a little windy, but nevertheless a beautiful day, nevertheless feels that our loyalty to our brothers and sisters in Iraq, Jamaica, Russia, and the United States and elsewhere is more important than the kind of privatized pleasures we might be enjoying in lieu of what we're doing right now. Okay. Well, I don't have any really prepared remarks to make, except to say that Andy Thayer, one of the co-founders of the Gay Liberation Network, was arrested yesterday exercising his right to assembly in Moscow with Moscow Pride campaigners and protesters, because Moscow, the mayor of Moscow, who's called gays satanic, has, along with the powers that be in Moscow, have made it impossible for Moscow to have a gay pride parade. They've been doing this for years. Every time gays, lesbians, transgendered, bisexual, queer people assemble to honor themselves and show that they are a force to be reckoned with in Moscow, they've been arrested. And sometimes they've been beaten up. And hooligans, fascist hooligans, have been known in the past to assemble and attack them and be allowed to attack them by the police, Moscow police. However, fortunately this year that did not happen. Although somewhere between 40 and 80 protesters were assaulted by SWAT teams of Moscow police, apparently there was no manhandling or assaults against any of these protesters. And if I'm correct me if I'm wrong, anyone here, I believe that all of them have now been released.
Yes.
Andy Thayer was not charged. He will be returning home tomorrow, and we will, definitely want to welcome him, give him a great Chicago welcome when he gets back. However, I understand that the Russian protesters with whom he was allied and with whom he was showing solidarity here have had charges and some serious charges leveled against them. I'm finished with respect to Andy. We are also here, of course, to remember what is happening in Iraq. In addition to the unconscionable occupation, which continues interminably. Yesterday I saw a sign on a person's car, "When will this endless war be ended?" And right next to that sign was a sign for Obama-Biden. Well, the war continues. It's being extended to Afghanistan and Pakistan. But in addition to this unconscionable occupation, the United States, who regards this government in Iraq as one of its client states, one of its allies, has refused to condemn and denounce the attacks against gay words, the government is as much to blame for disappearances of gays and their murders and their torture as the paramilitary militia groups for whom this is a long-standing policy. And why didn't Hillary Clinton, who visited Iraq a couple of weeks ago, why didn't she speak out? Why hasn't Obama spoken out? Why hasn't anyone in the administration spoken out? Why hasn't there been pressure by the gay NGOs on this administration to speak out and condemn this kind of behavior? The fact that it's not happening tells us loads about homophobia right here in the United States. Okay, I'll stop there and let someone else speak. Would someone